Sam, from Skyfall to 1917, quite a journey.
Yeah, it is a journey in a way, but, you know, I learned a lot on the Bond movies, and one of them was to not be afraid of scale, and also not to be afraid of genre movies, in a way. It was a great education, and sitting in the writer's room for Bond movies and watching something be made from nothing, you know, that gave me the courage also to write the script, from which I've never done before. I've never written a script of my own, and so in a way Bond was formative in making this film.
Did you ever want to be a soldier?
Never. No, I'm too much of a coward.
Really?
Of course.
And do you remember a story, a specific story that your grandfather told you?
Yes, I remember many. One, you know, he was out in no man's land trying to retrieve a friend. And he tripped and he fell, and he found himself lying, staring into the eyes of another young man whose eyes were wide open. And as my grandfather described me, he said he was one of the most beautiful men he's ever seen. And he said, "I must try and save you." And the man said, "No, you leave me, I'm dying." And he said, "No," and he dragged him back through no man's land, back to the trenches. And by the time he got him back there, he realized the man had died because he'd been shot while my grandfather was carrying him. And so the irony for my grandfather was that he'd been carrying a dead man, but that he himself had been protected from the bullets by the man he was carrying. So in a sense, he was alive because of the man he was trying to save. So that irony and the fact that there's such a thin line in that particular war between life and death, it seems so random, that affected me very much.
Well, this is a tribute to your grandfather, right? But what would be your tribute to your sons? When I ask you what year would you pick in Sam Mendes' life that you would like them to remember?
Gosh, what a very interesting question. I think that, well, for my children, it's all different times depending on how old they are. But in my life, I suppose 20 years ago was a pivotal moment in my life, which is when I made my first movie. And I suppose I felt I learned more about the world. And so that would be 1999. That movie would be 1999, which was also, by the way, a great year for movies generally.